welcome everybody, and we're a little tad late, but that's all right. We had a last minute little thing here we had to deal with, so we'll get started, and it's great to have everybody here today. I was saying to the press, it was a little bit lonely the last time because nobody was here. And,
oh, here we go. Here you go.
I know. I felt bad. I thought, well, you know what? It's fine. But there's another advantage of having being on television and on our YouTube and whatever, because everybody seemed to have everything reported well anyway, so it worked out good. So we got a couple of neat things today. First of all, I'll start off with minutes of the previous meeting. Bill, you got? Oh, we lost Bill here. Moved by Deputy Mayor Fisk, second by Councilor Turton, the minutes of the September 16th, 2014 council meeting be approved as circulated. All in favor?
I just have a question.
Question? Yep. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, did anything come of the bus driver situation, or have we heard anything about the company providing parking?
If I may, through you, Mayor Bridge, the lady just happened to be out in the lobby before the council meeting. I did email her. She forwarded it to her bus company. They found her a spot. It's not in Minto. I think it's near Listowel. She has asked for another spot if there's one closer, and encouraged them to get in touch with me, but they have not.
Yes, through you, Mayor Bridge, maybe the question could be answered by Councillor Elliott, because I noticed it's in the PRAC meeting as well, or PRAC minutes as well.
Now you're worrying me.
I just wondered what a warning track was.
Oh, warning track. So when you play ball, if somebody goes back to catch the ball, they have, if you've seen there's dirt around, and as soon as their feet hit the gravel. When they're going back, they hit the gravel, and they're coming off of grass, and when they hit the gravel, they know that they're close to the fence.
Oh, okay.
So it just allows them to hold up, so they don't rush, run it
So-
up.
A safety.
So basically, it's a
warning.
warning
A warning
that you're getting close to the fence.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Yep. Okay,
It's not gravel.
all right, any other, all in favor? Carried. Okay. We have no public meeting. Moved by Councilor Turton, second by Councilor Caldwell, the town of Minto convenes the committee of the whole. All in favor? Carried. Okay.
Additional items.
Any additional items?
Mayor Bridge, I have one. It's on your desk regarding protecting
Yep.
rural broadband.
I have one. Anybody else? Ron? Gary? I just put everybody down, right? If you think about it, I'll just do it. Okay. All right. Okay, resolutions.
That's it. We're into the
Delegations, and it's a pleasure today to have a couple of delegations here, 3 delegations here altogether, and they're all exciting delegations. Oh, and I believe County Councilor Mark McKenzie will be here later. He's giving a check out, I think, not receiving a check.
To Minto?
No,
Well, then we don't want to see him.
I think to the hospital. I think it's to the hospital in Mount Forest.
who is,
Oh, all right, yeah.
who is Mark?
On behalf of the thing. So I guess if we could have, do you want to do this one at a time, or both at the same time, or? One at a time? Okay, we'll take pictures. So we're starting off in no particular order, but we're able to hand out the proceeds from the Mayor's Golf Tournament, I'm really happy to say, and again, I've got a few of my committee workers here, and it was great for them to be here and help out as well. So I've asked Minto United Minor Soccer from the Manchester United to come on up and get your check, and it's Glenn Hall and Linda Kippick. I get that wrong all the time, don't I?
Head for the hills.
Oh, I know. She did.
I told her to take a picture, so if somebody else can take the picture, I think that, and Gordon, you're in the committee.
I said, I'm not gonna find it.
Unless anybody is here that
Shut your mouth.
Here it is, who's the treasurer?
Oh my God, you people are so beautiful. Take another one. Oh my God, that's craziness. I want one for myself, please.
That's great. yeah, sorry. Oh, we got two mics.
Well, get over here in front of the camera, for heaven's sakes, woman. Get over here.
There we go. I just want to say that we had an exciting first season, merged with Harriston. We had over 100 players, and 30 of those were kitty kickers. So those are the U4s, U5s, and that coach had her hands full. But we had a very exciting year. We really appreciate the fact that we're a recipient of the golf tournament. It will definitely help us, because the first year we did go through quite a bit of our funds, getting new uniforms and things like that, even though we had some sponsorship. So we really appreciate this to start up our year next year. Thank you.
Our next group up is Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and we have Mary Ann Christie and Bob
McEntee.
McEntee. You know, I didn't have my glass on, Bob.
That's all right. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah. I'm just better grab the check, eh?
Good check, very nice.
I want to get the money. Same group up. It's just that I really appreciate over the 4 years, the group, and I know you guys work with them as well, with our employee group, that's all that part of Congratulations. Again, $4,500. Like to say something?
Oh, no, that'll be November, right? Yeah. November, yeah. There's one more in October, isn't there? Yeah, but I thought you were leaving on 16. Jesus.
Well, Mayor Bridge and Council, on behalf of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of North Wellington, we'd like to say thank you very much, and certainly all you workers that helped out that cold day of golfing. It was well worthwhile at this amount of money. We're very pleased, and I thank you to be part of it.
I thought it was cold until I golfed on actually Sunday, and it was even worse. So,
It's good.
great. And now, we have Hope Robinson, and to talk about her favorite subject, heels for Hope.
You should have worn those famous heels you had.
Well, you know what? I actually don't have the highest shoes. I'm pretty sure that Mayor Bridge.
Well, and I have to ask,
Well, do tell.
Councillor Caldwell if she hasn't thrown those shoes out, because I'll need them again this year.
I saved them just for you.
Good.
They were quite nice. Okay, so Mayor Bridge, members of council, you've always been so incredibly faithful about coming out and supporting our Whiteman's Heels for Hospitals event for the last 5 years. There's always been at least 1 or 2 or 3 representatives from council and Mayor Bridge. Man, you even wear the shoes.
I wear the shoes.
So this year is Whiteman's 6th annual Heels for Hospitals. In the past 5 years, with the help of the community, we've raised more than $40,000. And this year, we are once again making the 1 kilometer trek up Allen Street and then back to Clifford Rotary Pavilion. And we would like to invite Mayor Bridge and council to come on out and walk with us and raise pledges. I believe all of you should have the Radiothon pledge sheets in front of you, hopefully. And this year as well, so last year we did the corporate challenge, so the team that raises the most pledges would be the recipient of a catered dinner from Whiteman Telecom. And we are not only doing the corporate donation again in that way, well, we're doing a corporate donation, but this is kind of our prize to whatever team brings in the most funds. We also have Phil Main from Classic Rock 94.5 who will be walking for us. And Phil has a challenge of his own, so if you walk with us and you pledge Phil as well, he will enter your name into a draw to meet and greet with Jim Cuddy and then see his band in concert. So
little
that's
Blue Rodeo.
kind of jazzy as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Whiteman Telecom, again this year, we will be donating $20 for every person who walks with us and then putting in our corporate donation as well and doing the grand prize. So
Super.
this is your official invitation. Saturday, October 18th at 10 a.m.
Right on. Well, hopefully we'll get a good turnout. And I've already talked, actually, I bumped into some of the Crescent Care workers, and I think they've got a big team again.
Okay, they have a bus.
A bus is what I heard, yes.
That's a good thing.
I know, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, Bryn Mawr Bus Lines, I guess the team from Crescent is so large
Yep.
that Bryn Mawr donated a bus for them, and they started out with a small one.
Yep.
And then their team grew, and now they have like an actual like school bus. So.
Yes, they were bragging about it at a local restaurant when I was talking to them, so, and put a challenge out to us, so.
Well, do you think they can bring a
hopefully-
short bus for us?
I don't know, maybe we can get on the bus, I don't know. But anyways, that great cause, and great job, Hope, again, and organizing it. And,
Thank you.
you know, our hospitals are so important to us. I know I see Councillor McKenzie just came back from a hospital event, and he'll probably talk a bit about that, but yeah, they're very important, that our hospitals and our public does a great job of supporting them, so,
Yes,
through
definitely.
people like yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir Caldwell, sorry.
Sorry, Hope, before you run away, we don't have a
We'll get-
donation sheet. Oh, you will get, no, I don't, we have one.
Just the radio.
Just this, so we just photocopy this for each one?
It's in, yeah, it was in your Whiteman's.
And I just want to let everyone know I will be walking, so any council or staff that is unable to walk, feel free to sponsor
Or me.
please. Or, I
Oh,
thought
like
I
I tell you.
I thought I'd get in there first.
I saw that, well done. Thank you, Hope. Excellent, and good timing, Mark, we just put you to the end, and you're ready to come up, so if you want to come up and do your report.
And you said he has a check for us today?
No, I think he gave a check away, or somebody gave a check
No
away
money?
today, I
What do you
believe.
got in your pockets, Mark? Any cash you can throw away?
I stitched them shut, Rick.
Were you able to give my condolences that I couldn't be there?
I did so. I
Thank you.
regrets. Mr. Mayor, thank you, Mr. Mayor and council. It's probably in your package, or it should be.
Yep.
A bit of a report here for October. Start by, with solid waste. The funding for those items I've listed there, the province has canceled to the county, but we're still going to take them and recycle them. So that's a good news thing, we don't have to bury. And there's quite a list there, but it's on your package. There's a new system for bale wrap material. The county will pick it up from the customer if they have a minimum of 10 bags. Before, they used to have to go to the landfill, and there's no charge for that either. And down at, it's increased actually 30%. It's been going now for a little bit, and they've noticed an increase in the response to that, so that's a good thing. And of course, the only thing that went up at the landfill was the rate per ton. It went up $5 this term. Police services, there will be 2 live scan fingerprinting devices purchased, one for Rockwood, one for Tividale. And the OPP new billing model for the contract, which is negotiated yet, it hasn't been ratified at council. It's a 60-40 split with the province, a user pay system, and after that it's a on-call basis fee. The way the model sits right now, we're going to save about $2.8 million a year, which is a good thing. The service will not drop. It's just a different way of, there's been a lot of people complaining about police services, and there's 115 municipalities to receive a reduction, and there'll be 207 remaining will get an increase.
Councillor Faulkner wants to ask you a question.
Mark, if I could ask a question in respect to, and this is, I heard this from, so you know how reliable it probably is. But I was told that if we have a major event under the new billing system, we pay the cost of that event, whereas now we already receive those automatic services. I'm talking about a helicopter, SWAT team, all those types of things. Is that going to be extra, or is that still in the billing formula?
Well, we haven't seen the details of that at county yet. We've just seen what the province has announced. And
Okay.
we have some details on it, but it is on a call basis. If there's anything above the normal, I believe we're going to get charged
Billed.
for it above the premium.
And I think you know, in fairness, at a $2.8 million savings, I'm assuming, knowing Wellington County and how they do things, they'll put a reserve of some of that savings they'll put away for what you're talking about, if that's the case. But Ron, I haven't seen anything in writing as to how that's broken down yet.
Yeah, I'd like to see that when it comes
Well-
out, because I think, we can talk about reduction in one area, but you're gonna pay more someplace else, and that,
Well, we would too, but it'll come
Yeah.
to council.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
think,
okay, thank you.
in the next term, so.
Yeah.
And the 463 false alarms, it says to be collected from callers. Is that the case now?
Yep.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
They bill them, and it's going quite well, actually. They're within about they're less than $1,000
Yeah.
collecting all of that,
Okay.
yes.
Thanks, Mayor Bridge. False alarms, so is that pocket dialing, or what exactly is that? Like, do they ever pinpoint what they are? Like, that seems to be a lot.
For
Thanks.
service, and it's bogus.
Just-
Yeah.
I've had lots of experience.
That was for the whole year.
That's for the year, that's right.
That's for the year, David,
Yeah,
across
okay.
the county.
Yeah,
It seems like a
okay.
lot, but if you spread
Yeah.
that out, I mean, usually, Mark, we see about maybe eight or so a month, a lot of times, like, and sometimes they're problems with security systems.
Gotcha.
You see the same guy a couple times, well, then they soon fix their system if they're being interfered.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the police have to go every time and
That's
they have
not
to worry
pocket
about it.
And it won't ever end. There'll always be somebody making a bogus call for service,
And just to capitalize on that 2.8 million, for years, what was happening is, I believe it was, and I'll have to, the numbers, it was 54 municipalities were paying for, out of the 460 municipalities, 54 of them were paying for the majority of the policing, or 75% of the policing costs. So even if there is some pay-for-user fees, like, I think it's gonna balance out not too bad. I don't think we'll lose the whole 2.8 just because of that, I'm hoping, Ron. I mean, I don't think, unless we have a lot of SWAT teams coming out, we shouldn't be paying 2.8. So I think it's a good news story for the county, for sure.
and the calls for service in Minto last year were 2,550.
Yeah.
Seems like a big number, but that's for the last 5 or 6 years, that's what it's been averaging around 2,500. Library, the Palmerston Public Input Consultation is now over, and we met with numerous groups and had a lot of input over there. The architect's report indicates that the space needed for the library use and the programs will take up most of the floor space, so outside interest may not be a possibility. We'll know better, the preliminary draft will be coming to council Thursday, or to the board's meeting on Thursday, and we'll know a little better what the preliminary design of the building and what's going to be in it. And, okay.
Councillor Elliott.
You done, Mark, with this library? I just wanted, there's a library question, but if you had something else to say, I didn't.
Just wanted to tell you about the circulation materials per month in this township for the three, in this town of Minto for the 3 libraries is 11,000. That's busy.
It's busy.
Okay. Outside interest groups, meaning that, does that mean that anyone, if there's a space that would be available to be rented or used for a meeting or such like, is that going to be available? Or outside interest groups mean like Boy Scouts, a regular group? Is that what you mean by that? How's that?
Well, the Boy Scouts, for one, I'm not saying they're not going to be there.
No, I'm just saying a regular group may not be, is that what you mean by?
Some of the ideas that came forth were from special interest groups wanting
Right.
space there, or had ideas about usage.
Mhm.
That may not happen because.
Yep. Okay, yes, I see what you mean. Some people have said we can use this for this and this.
Right.
Yeah.
For the
I-
service that we want to
absolutely.
provide is, there just isn't enough floor space now, so
But you may have, if you have a meeting room that would be available,
it's possible.
that's a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, thanks.
We'll know more in a couple of days here what they're going to present, so.
Yeah, it's just, I think we'll have a good idea Thursday, right?
Right on.
Okay, thanks.
Economic development, these are just general things, but they're important. There was some talk, this free trade agreement, and the mayor could have information on it also, but there's kind of the impact on the tariffs that free trade is really going to impact our product going across the border. And so there's discussion on that with the economic development in our county. For There's also discussion on the Chinese proposals. It's on the websites, it's starting to increase pretty good. They're looking to purchase agriculture, fruit and vegetable farms, come over here, bring their own help only, labor, and, because they need those products in China.
So they'll export that back to China?
Yeah. Especially the pig market is the largest one in the world, is China, and they've run, there's just no farms there, so they're looking at that. So that's gonna pop up. It's more of a federal and provincial thing, but it does affect the county. And social services, affordable housing in the county. There are 2,031 units currently, and there's 1,200 people on the waiting list. And right now the waiting time's 2 years for an application to be processed. There just isn't enough units. And this is an interesting item here. Adults with mental health issues, especially those that pose behavioral threats, is a growing concern in the county. And the White House Lodge in Hairston is the only place in the county that provides support housing and care for these people. So it's starting to grow more. I'm not sure what social services, they mentioned it in the report, so.
Well, and they have no,
important to provide
but
good.
they have no control over the White House.
That's right, it's a private entity.
It's a private enterprise, and I think what they were saying, you're right. I mean, it goes back to when we closed down our institutions, and now we have some community housing and other associations, Association for Community Living, but they're overrun. And so now what has private enterprises gone out and said, okay, these people get some support from the government, but there's no rules and regulations. So it's a tough, difficult situation. And when I talk to social services, unfortunately, they have no control over a place like the White House.
Oh, yeah.
And those private, the owners of that facility have looked at, they've got staff there that can actually, they're the only ones in the county, eh?
Right
So
now, it's a big issue.
It is.
Mayor Bridge?
Just general.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Bridge. I've been up and down King Street in the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot of concerns to do with the White House, and I think likely we need to find out who has control of the White House and maybe have a meeting with them.
As I say, it's a private individual. There's no government support other than people get a government money, but they can live anywhere, right? And that's the unfortunate part. It'd be nicer if there was more structure out there, but we'll see, Dave. I don't know if you just maybe have a meeting with the owner.
The hospital funding, you're aware of that. It was approved at County Council under the 5-year program request. 2.2 million went to Mount Forest and Palmerston. And today we just presented the check to Mount Forest, and it was well received, of course, and we're glad to do it. The stats for those hospitals receiving health care last year, Palmerston was 13,000, Mount Forest was 18,000. Fergus, in that group of Upper Grand Healthcare, was 37,000 there. I'd like to mention that we are one of the safest communities to live in Canada, and to increase the awareness, they're going to do that Safe Communities Initiative and post some more signs out there. Smoke-free outdoor spaces was also discussed. There was a presentation at council, and it's passed on to AF&P for consideration. And this is important also too to our municipalities. The county received the AAA rating, recognizing their financial status and management, and lower tier municipalities can take advantage of that lower rate when considering borrowing money through the county. And one other note of interest there is in-house, we changed benefits, employee benefits companies to Sun Life, and we saved in our premium over $22,000 this year on the premium, so that was a good move. That's the end of my report, and if there's any questions, I'd try to answer them.
Just one clarification on the, we're hoping to get to AAA, but we're just one below that.
Well,
We're
it's
AA plus. Yeah.
The AA rating for,
AA plus, but it,
borrowing.
and to give you an idea that there's only 8 municipalities at AAA in Canada, and we're just below them, and we're heading there. It's the right way to go. And if you read the Standard & Poor's report, two things came out in my mind. One was economic development, to move us up that plus, which is the next level, which, by the way, we're the highest level in Ontario for counties. No other county has a higher level than ourselves, and we're the only one at AA plus. And that Standards & Poor's report talked about the fact that two things that they really liked: the economic development that we've been doing at the county and the local levels, which is actually, they always used to have in our reports too heavy in agriculture and manufacturing. That has now gone out of the report, and we're well diversified, which is very important for an economy of our size. And the other thing was the $9 million investment in hospitals. They looked at that as a very positive thing, that the county put $9 million into hospitals. That was a positive thing, and that also drove that percentage up. So, yeah, I'm with you, Mark. I'm hoping to see that AAA. It's a real hard one to get to, but certainly from a standpoint of cost to borrow, I think I talked to Ken a little bit at the county treasurer, and maybe 10-year money would come in around 2.4% for us now if we went and got 10-year money. So that's pretty nice, and we can take advantage of that. So those are great benefits. Thanks, Mark. Does anybody else anything for Mark? Deputy Mayor Fisk.
Through you, Mayor Bridge, the items that are still eligible to be picked up or dropped off for hazardous waste, I noticed regular batteries aren't included, just rechargeable batteries. So does that mean regular batteries will be going into the landfill sites then?
No, there's still a collection at the library for those.
Yep.
So that's separate then?
Yeah, that's separate, yes.
Yep. Yeah, and by the way, the library collection, I think, Mark, I don't know if you have figures for that. It's amazing how many batteries they collect there. It's always seems to be fun.
Stats in front of me, but
Yeah.
it is, it's
a great program.
It is so.
And the other thing is, with respect to affordable housing, every year we get the report that we're second or third on the list. I'm just wondering where we are this year.
On the list, I don't think we've moved on the list. We've spent some money in Fergus and Guelph with upgrades, but we're still,
We're no further ahead.
It's a constant battle with the province to get money for us.
The only one that's ahead of us in the pecking order, if that's sort of what is Center Wellington.
Yes.
And it's because of population, I think, because they've got more, but we're second. So we're next up if we can, and as you know, we have some land that the county kept in Palmerston for a couple of options of different things, so hopefully that'll help us as well.
And there's programs for private interest groups if they
Yep.
want to try it too, but
Yep.
we just, hopefully, that's happened in Harrison.
Okay.
For that.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ron.
Ron, and then
Just, it's about smoke-free. You said they give a report, and it's gone off to AF&P for consideration of what kind of proposals were they're asking for you people to bring forward. Was it like smoke-free outside of buildings from a distance and all that stuff, off of parks?
Fields, you name it, but it's county related, that would have to come down to the municipalities to do their own bylaw. But they're looking at, it'll come back after the committee with recommendations.
So Wellington County buildings would be distances from the building and all such like?
Whatever they decide, but.
Okay.
yeah, the county can only regulate the county's stuff, but then it would be up to us. And a lot of the thing too, on public health, I know was pushing too, Ron, on a provincial level, because when you get down to it, we all went out and tried to get our smoke-free bylaws in local municipalities, but until the province actually came down with a law, it was a little hard to, you had one town would be all right, the next town wouldn't be, and so when the province did step up to the plate and said it was, so hopefully we keep pushing at both levels. It'd be nice if the province would actually make that point, but I think that what we've done, I give PRAC a lot of credit in putting up the signs and trying to get as best you can
Well,
what we're doing.
we're in the process of doing that, correct,
Yeah.
Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some signs up. I think I saw some at the Ball Diamonds.
You can have your own bylaw.
Yeah,
without it being-
yeah, it's hard to enforce, that's all.
Okay.
No, just the crime rate, you said we're have one of those crime rates in Canada, in Minto, is that correct?
in Wellington County.
Safest community in Wellington. Do you know where that sits in the province, or?
I don't. We just designated through, I'd have to go through Lamson and Council of Lamson and find out just where we are.
Oh, it's nice to hear that the crime rate in our area is one of the lowest, so.
Well, that survey was done by Maclean's Magazine a little while back.
It was posted in there.
Yep.
Okay, super, thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Mark.
You got a cold or what?
Clean my glasses.
They were having a meeting tonight, I think. They're having their executive meeting tonight, and they're gonna let us know tomorrow. Just give you a heads up, prepared that your speeches might be knocked back, ours, not necessarily the candidates, I mean, the council candidates, but, well, maybe not, but I think we were given 10 minutes, the mayors, and I think the county councilors, they might knock us back a little bit because they're gonna have questions, right? So that's the only thing I've heard, but that's not official, so. Yeah, I know. Just have 2 speeches ready, one for 5 minutes and one for 10. Yeah, okay.
2-minute speech, that's it.
Have one 5-minute talk fast or slow, one of the others.
Where are we here now? Delegations, public question period. Anybody got a question? Okay. We'll pretend that was your question, Mark, for public question period, so we can put something in the minutes. We got a question. You have a question? Well, did you want to make that point, or, like, I mean, we can talk about that, Bill?
Mayor Bridge, the question was, where are the ballots? The ballots have been mailed out. We're getting considerable returned. We're also getting a number of calls from people who aren't on the list for whatever reason. And so we would just encourage them to contact us. They can go online and get the form off online and sign it, bring it in, and we can get them a ballot, as long as they qualify under the electorate. So.
And there is paper forms here available if you wanted to grab some or whatever you can, but they have to come in here, I believe, with their identification.
They are to come in here if they're going to do it through us. There's also a manner by which people can be agents for them, but they're able to come in here and do that basically any time. So most of the ballots went out, all of the ballots went out on late September, so they should be there if the address was correct. And remember, we're relying on lists from MPAC and others, so there's still some glitches in it despite everyone's best efforts to try and keep it up to date. So if they haven't received one by now, they should come in and see us. We're going over to Royal Terrace and to Crescent Care, and we're going on specific days with staff to help facilitate their vote. And we did get their lists earlier on, and we're working with their coordinators to make sure we got to the people who are actually living there at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the Royal Terrace ones, I'm not sure they maybe, I know, I'm wondering if the office is holding them, because they should have had them in mail by now, so maybe we'd have a look at that, because they could have them out with them. I mean, the idea of staff going over, I think, was just in case people needed help filling them out, the staff would be there to help them, because they're not, I think. Yeah. Councilor Elliott.
I was under the assumption, and several people in our community under the assumption that on October 25th, when we had drop-off centers, that they'd be able to get on the voters list at that time at the arenas, but it appears, after talking to Annalene, that that's not the case. So we should make it clear to people that they can't go to on the 25th to those drop-off centers to get on the ballot. They do have to come here or have an agent do it for them. But I think that has to be out there somewhere, because people are assuming if they go to the 25th, that they can. And I was under that assumption too, and it's not just the public, but when I'm talking to them, they'll say, I'm not on the ballot, or not on the voters list, but I'll go on the 25th and put it. And I said, certainly you can, and then I'm wrong. So.
If I may, Mayor Bridge, through you, that is correct, but we will make sure that they have the forms. They can at least take the form. But like I said, if they have not received a ballot, they believe they're eligible to vote, they should come in and see us right away.
So if they went in the 25th, they could come on voting day out here and get themselves on.
Till 8 o'clock, but we're asking people not to leave it until then. They could come in at any time as soon as they know they're not on the list.
I just know that there are people coming to the 25th, assuming that they can get a ballot that day.
Yeah, but they won't be able to.
That's right, but as long as we can direct them in the right direction, then I'm sure that.
Okay,
Thanks.
all right, good. Thank you. E-agenda, we had the Township of Greater Athabasca, or whatever that is, Council. Athabasca. You should know that one, eh? That's up north, right, Ron? Okay, anybody have anything with the emails or correspondence?
Mayor Bridge, if we wanted to just do a motion to accept those, that would be great, and maybe if we wanted to deal with the rural broadband correspondence as well, from the Roma chair. We did receive an email just this week about the issue of changes that Industry Canada is looking at regarding urban versus rural broadband that could impact on accessibility for people in rural areas. And I would encourage you to support Roma and AMO and anyone else who is wanting to preserve access to broadband for rural communities. So if we could have a motion to accept the other correspondence and to support, looks like, I think it's Mayor Eddy's.
Mayor Eddy's, yep, Ron Eddy, yep.
Letter, that would be appropriate.
Moved by Councilor Faulkner, second by Councilor Hamley, all in favor? Carried, okay, good. Yeah, that's important. Okay. Reports and committees. We got Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority minutes.
Mayor Bridge, this is the Source Protection Group.
Oh, yeah, Source Protection Group, right.
Need a motion to receive.
Motion to receive these. Moved by Councilor Turton, second by Deputy Mayor Fisk, all in favor? Carried, okay. And now Business Economic Development Committee minutes, and I see Belinda's already at the machine, ready to go. Excellent. It's not working? No. Caps on. Oh.
Sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through the highlights. Tomorrow's a big day. We're hosting the Minto-wide job fair. We have 14 employers there hiring tomorrow. So if anyone you know of is looking for a job, we have employers looking for people. So that's from 2 till 6, and it's at the Palmerston Community Center. We were planning on having a couple buses come from Guelph and Orangeville. Unfortunately, nobody registered for those. We have been promoting it a lot north of here. So that's kind of been my target, and I'm hoping that people will come out. I've also lined up service providers, employer service providers, to come and speak to our employers about how they can help them find workers and what programs are available for them in terms of grants or apprenticeships or anything like that. And what I was going to show you ties into the next part, which is our job and housing portal that we've created. And I'm getting great feedback from our employers about this, and the more people I talk to, the more keen to get on here. So that's what I wanted to show it to you. But anyway, we're launching that tomorrow, soft launch. So it's not going to be perfect. There will be kinks, but it's our first time trying it. So hopefully it works out okay. I'll try it again before I'm done. One of the things in here is an application that we wanted to put forward for a community improvement grant for facade. So Scrounge Around is in downtown Palmerston, kind of located on the side where Dr. Samalago's office is, and I guess where Knowles Jewelry store used to be, that's Scrounge Around. So Connie has some great plans to repair a window there, but also fix up that whole front. So that's going to look significantly better. And she's working with a local contractor on fixing that up. Our community improvement plan, the committee pretty much approved or likes what they hear from the downtown groups. They were all pretty consistent on what incentives they want to see added and what areas they want added into the community improvement plan. I met with Treasurer Duff late last week and kind of went through some numbers. So what you see in our minutes, those were just like preliminary numbers. Treasurer Duff and I went through and kind of came up with some rough figures that we might be able to propose at the next meeting on Thursday. We have our final draft of our here. So I think that's, oh, I don't have it. Sorry. Forgot to mention, I'll hand these out, our Young Professionals Group for Northern Wellington, the town of Minto, Mapleton and Wellington North, and the 3 chambers of commerce are all going together sponsoring this event. We're having this internationally renowned speaker, Jerry Visca, come on November 27th to the Mount Forest Sports Complex. And he's a really great motivational speaker. He speaks to Fortune 500 companies all over the world, and we're very fortunate to have him come here. So tickets are $25 if anyone's a member of the chamber. Obviously the town is, so $25 for tickets and $30 for non-chamber members. And 2 things that I noted I didn't have in the minutes were we reviewed our communication booklet. So every 3 years we put together a document that kind of highlights economic development, what projects we've been working on over that time. So we feel it's important that the community gets a good idea of all the things that economic development entails. So the committee did review that and liked it, and it's at the printer. We're waiting for it to go out. And the other thing I forgot to mention is I applied for a scholarship with the International Economic Developers Council, and I was successful in receiving that. So I will be attending the conference in Texas next Saturday until Wednesday. And
That's great. Good job.
yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. We have people from all over the world coming together in Texas to do economic development stuff. So they have a whole bunch of neat activities planned for young professionals to work together on different things.
It's awesome.
So Bill and Terry, you're heading down there too?
Not that time, but don't mess with Texas.
Belinda, she'll straighten them up down there.
Okay, it's not working, so sorry all for that.
Yeah, Glenn was here earlier, you know.
I know.
Just say y'all.
Yeah, she just said y'all.
Y'all, she's getting into that y'all Texas.
Getting into the Texas drawl already.
Y'all.
And Mo, the Texas
So
Mo.
Who y'all going down with?
Sorry, I feel very unprofessional right now. Okay.
That's the people you're dealing with.
Culture roundtable minutes. Just quickly, we did have the Culture Days weekend, and the Minto Arts Council and the Hairston Historical Society put on some great activities. It was a gorgeous weekend, and all of our activities were indoors. So unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of people come out. We did advertise it extensively, and the list is there of the ways we advertised it. So we're going to be looking, trying something different next year. Our songwriters contest, the deadline for entries is tomorrow. We have 3 right now. We're hoping for at least 12. Whiteman Telecom has come on as a media partner, and they've offered to film the performers at the Norgan on the 23rd. If we don't get 12 by tomorrow, we're going to extend that deadline.
We just made the radius a little farther too, so
yeah, we
we're
were
just.
doing a 30-kilometer radius, and we've had inquiries from people that are 35 kilometers away. So we decided to open it up and include those people. And then on November 18th, we're hosting a Christmas storytelling event, and that will be in conjunction with Light Up the Town. So if you come downtown Hairston, we do the hot chocolate and cookies. We're going to be doing that at the library. So we'll light up the downtown. We have some new decorations this year. Then we'll go over to the library and have free hot chocolate cookies and some Christmas storytelling. And one of the things that our group is really recognizing, obviously, volunteers are a big part of many organizations in Minto and how we get things done around here. And many groups are expressing concern with the aging volunteers and having difficulty getting new volunteers, etc. So next year we want to really look at hosting some sort of event for those groups to how they can engage new volunteers, retain the ones they have, just kind of support our volunteer sector, I guess, is something that this group wants to look at for next year.
And then on that, Belinda, I noticed we talked about it today a bit, and you haven't got that up here yet, but when Glenn was actually presenting this job portal idea to the county as well today, and one of the things you can add into the job portal is a volunteer portal. So it would be nice, I know lots of people, like the Rotary Club in Clifford, they have a lot of people that come out and volunteer. They might not be in the Rotary Club, but they'll maybe come out and do sauerkraut with them, or they'll do things. So if people have 4 or 5 hours they can give a month or whatever, they can register in this portal. People can pull from them, or if people need people for a certain event, like the Lions Club in Palmerston or somebody. Good. Then they can go on that. Thought if you delayed long enough, you'd get
Yeah,
it.
forgot to open that.
So that's another thing you can work on. So that whole
That was a
job
joke.
portal volunteer thing is there as well. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. I'm glad you got it up.
Is it amazing?
So this is, if you know what our treasurer's website looks like, we kind of took a similar concept here. And down the side here, these are basically listings. So for example, Lake Ridge Heating, this is like their profile, so you can go there and you can see all their Lake Ridge Heating and Cooling. And they are listed here because they have a job. And if you click on that, that's the person, so that's what they're looking for. And one of the things that you can do with this system is share it. So you may have your son or daughter live in a field and they're a gas fitter, and so you can share this on your Facebook or tweet it out and hopefully bring them back here. There's also the benefit of this is it shows the housing and the jobs. So I don't know what this is here, but if we went back to the home page, it would have little houses and little employment characters. So people can go on and add a property. They go here, so it's properties. So there's no properties. So like Keep Gray has a bunch of listings, so it'll say Keep Gray and then 10, and then you could just click on him and see his 10 listings. And then there's this property here that might be a private individual just listing this property on property guys.
That has been sold.
It has been. We were just using it as a sample. So this is listed with property guys or whatever. You can go on and you can post pictures of the property and all the descriptions, and it comes up and maps it for you and all that stuff. So you just go here and you go add property, and then you populate the information, and then I receive all of this stuff, so I can vet it and then publish it to the website. And then here's the job. So if you want to add a job to the website, you would do the same thing, and you fill out the form, etc. Like that. So, like I said, it's kind of a work in progress, and there will be kinks to iron out, but we're going to be showcasing this tomorrow to the employers and getting them all signed up with their positions on the board and stuff like that. And in next year's budget, we'll be putting funding towards this to promote it in areas that have higher unemployment than we do, and targeting specific immigrant groupings, because we're finding there's a lot of, for example, Filipinos coming to Palmerston, so maybe targeting the promotion of this website in those communities. So that's what it looks like.
Yeah, cash is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if we can have somebody motion to receive those 2 sets of minutes. Counselor Caldwell, Counselor Turton, all in favor? Very good. We're hoping kind of like the county will take our portal and run with it. Yeah, it'd be nice.
Mr. Mayor, I just in talking about downtown, I noticed the old Palmer's getting work again. They're
Yes.
working away on it, and they got a lot of outside work done the last couple days. I know they've been working inside, so they're working at your downtown, Linda, so.
Yes, my partner in development, Terry, has been
I think they're hoping to have apartments ready for, well, whatever. We won't jinx them.
Yes, that's right.
Let's not jinx them, but they're
We're
working
gonna have
towards it.
apartments soon.
Yeah, because we certainly need them for
Yes.
the job fair. And one of the things, Belinda, tomorrow in the job fair, we have 14 businesses are going to be there. And I believe around 100 jobs they're looking to fill, right? Now, TG Minnow's got 50, but that is a lot of jobs out there that we, hopefully we get some people coming down and looking at these. We've done a lot of advertising, so, and that's the unfortunate part we've got. We've got more jobs than people. It's not a great thing to have.
Very good.
It's unfortunate our unemployment rate's only, what, about 4%?
Yeah, 3.5 to 4.
It's good, but it's bad.
Bad, yeah.
Fire a bunch
Okay,
of people.
and next up is Krista. Launch it. Speaking of great
Yeah,
things.
thank you, Bruce. Yeah, that'd be good, thank you. I'll give you some more at the end of it.
These are the minutes from September the 19th. So exciting news, the board reviewed an application for tenancy from a new incubator tenant. So this individual would be starting up a brand new business and actually is a registered massage therapist, so something that we're kind of lacking in Minto, so that's something that's exciting. Actually, and more recently than these minutes, we did create a subcommittee, and that subcommittee did interview the individual, and from what I hear, it's been very positive results. So I'm just working on calling their references, and then we're going to take it back to the board on Thursday to have a final discussion about that. This individual would like to actually have the 2 back offices of Launch It, which would really only leave 2 offices vacant. So that's exciting news. Things are really starting to fall into place for us there. As you can see, I attached the statistics for our training programs and also inquiries that we've had at Launch It over the past couple of months. You can especially notice that for the inquiries that we've been having, a lot of people are indeed from the creative economy sector, which is exciting because that's the target market for us. So that's really nice for us to see. We are going to be filming our promotional video on Thursday of this week, so we have lots of people lined up to have their moment of glory, I suppose. So that's something that's exciting, and that came from the County Economic Development Fund, so that'll be a great promotional tool for us to have. If you've driven past Launch It lately, you've noticed our nice window decals that we have up now. They make our storefront look pretty fancy, and we'd like to thank Innovative Print for sponsoring those. That was a great contribution from them. I do have some posters here that I will be passing out in regards to our one-day creative entrepreneurship conference that we'll be having on Monday, October the 20th at the Harrison Minto Community Complex. We've got all kinds of great speakers lined up for that, including keynote speaker Gregory Smith, and lots of other speakers talking about their personal stories of positives and negatives of business that they've went through. We have an accountant coming from Warden Updegrove, yeah, just some great things. I'm really excited about that day. So the cost is $35 a person for that day, and that'll include your breakfast and lunch. And then we'll also be hosting an after party at Launch It after that event. North Wellington Young Professionals will be helping us out with that. So everyone's welcome to join us back at Launch It for that after the day. And I guess that's it.
Questions?
Through you, Mayor Bridge, I just, the registered massage therapist, I see he or she is renting 2 offices for $400 per month. Mm-hmm. And later in our package, we have another business wanting to rent an office, and they're going to be paying $500 per month. I'm just wondering, is there a standard, or is it just whatever you can get, or?
It kind of went by the size of the offices. The 2 that he wants to rent, the one is particularly small, and it also is not private. It doesn't have a closing door on it. So initially, when we had created the prices for the individual office, it was listed as a lower price just because of its size and its privacy. Mm-hmm.
And
capabilities.
It's kind of worked out for him because it'll be where he'll have his private office where he'll have the massage going on, and then he'll have a kind of a waiting area. That's what it is. It's almost like a reception area, just the way it works. And then the other one, I think it's a double. They're doing double office.
That's right. And also the difference there too is Triton is kind of an existing business, so they kind of fall more into our business center tenants, where this individual is just starting up, and so they fall more under our incubator tenant category as well.
And this, the $400 per month, will that include hydro and cleaning and internet as well?
It will. For our incubator tenants, that's kind of our deal. And then we also include a membership for the Business Excellence program as well, so that they're able to have a mentor and take part in all of our training and networking programs as well to really help them get started.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And I think on the Triton, they pay for soft services. Not hydro, but they pay for cleaning and that on top of their.
Yeah, we kind of worked with them because they were purchasing
Yeah.
2 offices, so we kind of worked with them to kind of work that into the.
Mayor Bridge, did you want to bring that item forward while we
Sure.
have the people at
Yep.
the table, if Linda wanted to come up?
Yep.
Motion on the minutes.
Motion on the minutes, can I have a motion on the minutes? Moved by Deputy Mayor Fisk, second by Councillor Turton, all in favor? Carried.
So in terms of the Triton lease,
Turn it, yeah, is it on?
yeah, no. In terms of the Triton lease, we've been speaking to Paul Ziegler for quite some time now about having an office space in Hairston. We work with them quite a lot on many projects, and Paul's a resident of Minto and has some staff people from here as well. So we kept approaching him about setting up an office and launch it to see if it's worthwhile to have an office in our community. And so Carissa and myself met with Paul and Chris Clark, one of their engineers, gave them a tour of Launch It, kind of told them what we could offer them. And Paul was keen, Chris was keen. Chris actually lives in Guelph and will be coming up to work out of the space. And they presented it to the other partners, and they were interested in being here and seeing how it goes. So it's a 1-year lease, and our hope is ultimately that they find it's beneficial to be in Minto, and then we'll move out of Launch It and free up that space for
Right.
somebody else, and they can have another home in Minto
Perfect.
somewhere. So,
What it's all about.
That's where your business belongs.
and it's a creative economy like a business, so that's what we're trying to get in here. So
Create a nice new office on Main Street and fix it all up.
that's right.
Okay, so do we need a motion on the?
What a novel idea
I
that
may
is.
just, on the recommendation on item 12C3, and just to let you know also that we did have our lawyer review the lease. And then there will be a bylaw authorizing it later on.
So we just need a motion on the recommendation.
For sure.
Moved by Councillor Elliott, Councillor Hemley, all in favor? Opposed, none, okay, thank you.
And so they're in there, and you can come and see them and say hello.
Yeah, well, perfect,
Good news.
good news.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec,
Big dig.
Matt's up next, and then
So they won't have to travel back and forth.
I have one, yeah.
We want to do Terry has to.
Oh, Terry has to go? All right, well, we can do that.
Matt?
Terry,
Didn't know what that meant.
we're moving on, just to give you a little heads up.
No, that's Templeton.
Thanks.
We're moving into staff reports, and we have Terry here with his building report. And I'll find it here somewhere.
Oh, Terrence will walk.
12C2, 12C2. There it is. Good.
Great, so we had a pretty busy month last month. Issued 18 permits worth a little over 1.6 million, versus 14 of the previous year worth a touch over $1 million. So we did 4 houses worth almost $1 million this month, so that's a good thing. So yeah, to date, we're getting 138 permits worth a little over 12 million, which works out to a little over $1 million, a little over $1 million worth more than what our rolling 10-year average is. So we're still in very good shape, I think.
Looks good. And I hear you're busy again this month.
Oh, I've got lots. I think I got over $1 million sitting on my desk waiting for.
Perfect.
Wow. So it's
$1 million or just
$1 million in
Just
various.
drop in,
projects.
visit you.
Well, no, they're not leaving me a check for $1 million. But yeah, where the construction value is still pending, so it's
Great.
gonna carry on this
Super.
month as well.
Any questions for Terry? Councilor Colvin?
Just the large industrial, is that Tim Hortons?
No, that is, Tim Hortons was issued about 2 months ago. This is an interior renovation at TG.
Oh, okay.
They just finished up their one addition, and this is additional mezzanines and other equipment within the existing building.
Yeah. Any other questions? Councilor Elliott?
When do they expect TG Minnow will be, or not TG Minnow, the Tim Hortons would be complete?
I was on site today, and the site foreman wasn't on site. It was just one of the framing contractors, so he didn't know. But I'm heading back there to meet him tomorrow. So
Did they have any set date before when they started? or?
I don't really like committing to dates because then it makes me look bad. If
I think you should.
Especially when there's a cup of coffee at the end of it, right?
It's the closest one to my house, so I'm really excited.
Everybody I walk around and talk to here saying, when's Tim Hortons ready? Oh, I don't.
This year.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah,
I hope so, I hope so.
I'll just phone Terry then, he got all the information.
yeah, Terry knows.
Thanks, Terry. Motion to accept. Deputy Mayor Fisk and Councillor Elliott, all in favor? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Now, Matt.
Very, formal today.
Okay, Matt?
Thank you, Mayor Bridge. So basically, I'm here to present the PrAC minutes from September 29th. That was our first meeting since June, so there was a lot on the agenda, and we had a lot of great discussion. We're still investigating Wi-Fi options at the arena, looking at some lower cost alternatives as opposed to maybe going with a more expensive one. We're trying a couple of things now, but if they don't work out, then we may look at the more expensive option when we start talking about 2015 capital. And towards the end of August, we purchased and installed a slide at the Palmerston Pool. That was all done through Jumpathon proceeds that kids in Palmerston have raised over the last 3 or 4 years. And it was a splashing success. And the weight capacity is good.
Yeah, 250.
Yeah.
We just got under it.
And the water's still in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, moving on, we posted another successful Jeff Davey Memorial 3-pitch tournament. And some of the proceeds this year, or the bulk of the proceeds this year, are going to go towards installing a warning track at the Harrison Ball Diamond, which is great to see. That'll be done prior to the start of the 2015 ball season. If I'm correct. Norgan Theater, we didn't meet in the summer, but lots of things were happening. We had our annual shutdown from the 18th of August to September the 4th, but we hosted a lot of events during that shutdown. We had the CKNX Fan Appreciation. We had our own volunteer appreciation. We had a Lucas Rogerson concert, and we also had another wedding ceremony. I think that marks our 3rd or 4th, and we've got I think 2 or 3 more in the next year. So that was great. We just had a great event today. The Minto Fire Department put on Fire Prevention Week video. Kids from the nursery school as well as Palmerston Public came down. Well over 100 kids there. Great to see. The video was Danger Rangers, Fire and Liars. So looked pretty cool. It's just great to see that the schools and people in the community take advantage of the Norgan and use it. And it was a great idea from the Minto Fire Department to.
Once we got the projector guy to do it right.
We did have some brief audio problems, but the show did go on just 2 minutes late. I had one job. We're also hosting Jersey Beat, which is a musical tribute to the Four Seasons. That's coming up on Thursday, October 16th. We're over 100 tickets sold now, which is great. We're well on our way. And
What's the capacity?
220. So, we're hoping to sell it out, and we're expecting sales to increase this week. Typically a week and a half to a week out is when you really see the tickets move. With respect to some of our summer programs, I felt our adventure camp and aquatic seasons ran well. We ran a pickleball program. We started off in the Palmerston Arena, and then when the fair came around, we relocated to the Harrison Arena, and it was a great turnout. It's an interesting little sport combination of badminton, tennis, and ping pong. We had a demonstration at our PrAC meeting back in March, and even some of the PrAC members were able to check it out. And we have a good core of people who are interested in Minto, and I'm hoping we can build upon that next year. I would call it modified tennis, or a slower version of tennis. It's an addictive little program. Starting next Sunday, we're going to start our grassroots hockey program in Clifford again, just in the process of calling all the participants from last year to see if they're interested in rejoining. Currently we have 10 kids confirmed and 10 interested. So I think we're going to settle in around 15 or 20 in the program, which is a good number to work with. just with respect to facilities, Facilities Manager Al Carr presented an update on capital projects and their progress. And that's something that is on the back page of the minutes, I guess page 4. If you have any questions about any of those capital projects, Al would be the best person to talk to about them. Before the meeting began, Bill Raynard actually presented a check on behalf of the Clifford Rec Association for $10,000 to Pratt Chair Elliott and Councillor Turton. For the $10,000 constitutes 1/3 of the $30,000 loan that they received. It's great to see that they've paid a third of that back already. And the check's been cashed and cleared and we're good to go. It's also important to note that with respect to the new Clifford Ball Diamond, that many of the features from the old diamond are going to be relocated there. You know, whether there's any concern about things like the drinking fountain and booth being torn down, that's not the case. They're just going to get moved across the street, which is great to see. The senior AA hockey season has already started. 81s are 1-0 so far. Their home opener is Friday, October the 24th, 8:30 in Palmerston. One of the nice things this year is I think the playoff format's been modified slightly so that the championship, which we hope they'll get back to again, it's going to be 2 weeks earlier than last year. So it'll mean a shorter race season for us.
Just, if I could speak to that just for a minute. I've been talking to different people. They have under the understanding that why the 81 sometimes don't go out of leave the Palmerston Arena is because we don't accommodate them for ice time, and that's not the case at all. It's a choice of the club because they go between Mapleton and Palmerston, and I think they're actually playing one of the home dates out of Mount Forest too. So I just want to make it clear that our community is nothing but we would host them at any time. Just that sometimes the dates don't work out for them. So just want to make that clear that it isn't us that create that atmosphere. They're quite happy about playing Palmerston.
Through Mayor Bridge, and to answer Councillor Elliott there, yeah, about half their games are in Minto. The other half are in Mapleton, and then one game in Mount Forest, and that's just I think what it is the team trying to put the best schedule together for their players. They all work, they all have other jobs, and so that's part of the process. Yes. We try and be as accommodating as possible. That being said, it has been nice the past couple of years that the majority of their games since they amalgamated with the Drayton Icemen have been in Palmerston, but we're seeing that more and more, that it's, especially this year, it looks like a 50-50 split, which is what we expected earlier on with the amalgamation, but we benefited from majority of the home games in the past.
And we do get all the practice time.
Correct, yes. Yep. Just with respect to skating in Palmerston, or figure skating in Palmerston, there is no Palmerston Skating Club program this year. The club's at a bit of a crossroads now where they have to consider either going into dormancy, and there's a fee involved in doing that, or just folding all together. So that's something that both myself and Facilities Manager Al Carr, we're going to work on trying to come up with a solution for next year. We found it beneficial when Palmerston Minor Soccer didn't run a program in 2013 to start the process now. I'm glad to see that Minto United, as it worked out, came back very strong this year, very active in the community and participating in different fundraising opportunities like the Mayor's Tournament to get their feet reestablished. So that's something that we can definitely keep council updated on. It's just a matter of working with the Palmerston Skating Club and the Harrison Skating Club to see if there's anything we can do for next year. With respect to skating, our public skating schedule has been completed. All of the sessions in Palmerston, Harrison, and Clifford have been sponsored either by local businesses or service clubs, which is great. So it's a no-cost recreational opportunity for all. Schedules went into the school, and we also do a posting on our Facebook page every Friday updating people of the opportunities that will be available that weekend. And I should mention that on the town website, it's great. We just launched our new website. It's mobile friendly, easy to access from a tablet or a cell phone. For things such as the public skating schedule, it's great. And if you do have a chance on your mobile device, definitely check it out.
Bit of help.
Any questions? Just not right now.
Terry and I need lessons.
Are there any questions with respect to the minutes?
No.
Motion to accept. Moved by Councilor Caldwell, second by Councilor Turton. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Thanks, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Good job.
Hey, you taking this one?
Good lad.
Yes, Mayor Bridge, I'm bringing forward the county planner's report on the rezoning and official plan amendment by John and Shirley Dick for King Street in Palmerston. You may recall we had a report when we reported our comments to the county on the official plan amendment. That went to the county and they have approved the amendment. Now the zoning comes back to you for consideration. The county manager of planning and environment is recommending that we proceed with a bylaw that puts the one lot, which is lot 44, it's actually two lots, lots 44 and lot 31, into a mixed-use category, MU 144, and that would permit the single detached dwelling on that property. So there is a bylaw in your package for consideration later on. At this point, try and answer questions of the planner or just need a motion to receive his report.
Motion to receive by Councilor Faulkner, second by Deputy Mayor Fisk. All in favor? Okay, good, thank you. And we already did the chief building inspector's unit, trade and engineering lease, we've done that. Oh, just jumping right ahead here. Road closures Remembrance Day. Bill, are you handling that one?
I think
Peg's doing that one? We're just jumping ahead there, Peg. We did a bunch of things before you, so you gotta. Remembrance Day coming up.
Yes.
And we know we're into fall.
Okay. So the town is in receipt of two special event permits from both Palmerston and the Harriston Legion. And the Harriston Legion is requesting road closure, as well as the representatives to attend the dinner and bring greetings from the town. They've also requested that we declare October 31st until November the 11th as Remembrance Weeks to support the poppy campaign, and that council would also consider supporting the door-to-door poppy campaign in Harriston on November the 1st, and that council would also publicly announce the 2-minute wave of silence on November 11th, 2014. So in your package, there is a bylaw to consider in open session, a bylaw to close roads in Harriston and in Palmerston for both of the Remembrance Day parades.
Any questions? Motion? You got a recommendation there?
Yes, I would recommend that.
Moved by Councilor Elliott, second by Councilor Faulkner. Oh, sorry, Councilor Caldwell, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All in favor?
She's in a favor early.
She's early in
I'm
favor.
Well, I was trying to second.
I know. Fever? Keep her going, thanks, okay. Okay.
Thanks, Peg.
Next, Bill, I think this one's yours.
Thank you, Mayor Bridge. If someone could take the cap off the thing.
Okay.
Well, that's why it's not working. What the Sam?
Thank you.
No,
That wasn't Melinda's
You
issue.
already told me it wasn't that.
Let's see if it works.
Okay, there we go.
Anyway, this is the site plan for Brad Schwint Sons. Just a reminder of the resolution you passed before. We declared the land to be surplus. We declared the land to be surplus, and we gave notice in the paper that you would be passing a bylaw to consider, there we go, to consider, thank you, to allow all the documents to be executed for this sale to occur. Notices went in the paper that we would be doing that, and also we were going to be stopping up and closing a section of road allowance, and that section of road allowance is actually right in here. That's the section of John Street road allowance that we'll be stopping up and closing. So today you have a bylaw in your package authorizing all the documents to be executed regarding this sale. And also I wanted to present the site plan to you and to let you know that we did give notice in the paper that those two matters would be coming forward to council. I did have a number of calls to the office, and I did receive one letter, and it was from Wes and Eleanor Gerber, who actually came into the office a couple times, and I have shown them the site plans. So if I may, I'll just read their letter briefly. They would like to address the potential happenings of the drainage system used to drain this new area. We are concerned that we will get another abundant amount of runoff water. There appears to be an open gravel base in the underground due to an indentation in the ground level on the lots behind us, plus the fact of the two sump pumps being emptied into this area. We get this water through our house weeper system and having to pump it out onto the street. We really don't need any more water. We would hope that consideration would be applied. So, just for your information, they live down in here. And if you look at the design that we have, and this is not a complete site plan, so it will actually have to come back to council for final approval, but this structure in here right now is a retention pond. So the water will flow there, and there's arrows showing where the water flows. The water will flow off the back of these and then between the units out to this pond, where it will be retained and then slowly let out to this outlet here on the street. This is Brown Street over here, and this is William Street. The ball diamond kind of sits sort of right in here right now. So in answer to their question, there will be no increase in flow off this property as a result of this project going ahead. In fact, normally when homes are built, believe it or not, the drainage improves just because you have weeping systems and water, the groundwater will be directed away and that kind of thing. So yes, there's roof water, but that will all be incorporated in this drainage plan and it will not impact on them. She did receive a copy of this drawing and they seem quite satisfied with that explanation. It's something that when the engineer drawings come back, that council will need to have a look at. So I mentioned the road allowance that would be stopped up and closed. Just to show you the way this development will work, there's two sets of four street townhouses, one here and one over there, and then two sets of three in here. These lines along the top here and down in here will be public walkways, and those walkways will lead into this combined park and pond area. Now the way this pond is currently situated, it kind of takes up that whole width of property. We'll probably see that design change because we'll need to get walkways around that and through. So it probably will change in configuration a little bit, but you can see it only really takes up half to not even 2/3 of that chunk of land that we'll be retaining there. So that green parcel in between, and it's a ½ acre in size, will be retained by the municipality as pond and open space. And then these people who own interior units here will have an easement to walk out here and down and into their backyards. Because these are street townhouses, they don't have a way to go from front to back. So if they need to get equipment, if they want to bring their lawnmower in the backyard, then they'll have an easement to do so. So they'll be able to use that easement to get in under the public land, and similarly down in here to get into the back of those. We will also have an easement here so that we can maintain storm drain and so that public can use that as a walkway, and they've consented to that. So the agreement of purchase and sale is signed. You've declared this land to be surplus. We've given notice that we were disposing of the property as we are required to do so. We gave notice that we were going to stop up and close the roads. And we've also had the land appraised, and they are paying actually very close to the appraised value of the land. In fact, in excess of it. When you throw the servicing in, they're almost bang on the appraised value. So we're moving forward with this. Their intention is to close the first chunk of this development, which is this first piece over here, this year. So we should receive our first $100,000 and the servicing amount, which we're sharing 50-50. So all we're asking is that you receive this report. They are also asking if council could formally accept in principle the layout and easement as shown here. It just helps for them in terms of moving forward with the project. So if we could add to the recommendation that they accept in principle the easements and layout as shown, and that's subject to the final plan coming back to you. And the bylaw to stop up and close the road actually will come later. We actually have to send this all to the surveyor tomorrow, if you're in agreement with it, and get that ordered. So, but there is a bylaw on there to authorize the execution of all documents to close the sale. If there are any questions? There are, oh, I should show you a couple of pictures of the lands there, just to give you an idea what they look like. Many of you have been down there before. A lot of this material is now off the site, as far as I understand it. I haven't been up this week, and I think they're also working to take the light standards down. And the good news on the lights is that a lot of them can be used in our Harrison facility still, so we'll keep those in inventory. Any questions?
Just, through you, Mayor Bridge, you mentioned about a lawnmower in the back, but they'll have access through back doors. Will they be permitted to put up, say, a little garden shed to store their stuff in? Because I believe it, this drawing, there's 55 feet between the end of the building and the...
Yeah, they'll have a little backyard.
I don't see that as an issue.
I guess if you had a digger or something, you had to go back and do something. Okay. Motion to accept, Councillor Faulkner, Deputy Mayor Fisk, all in favor? Good, it's great.
That's exciting.
Moving forward. Effort development.
Thank you, Mayor Bridge. I'll do the next one
Yep.
rather quickly. Way back in 1996, which doesn't seem too long ago to some of us who were in the field then, but I guess we signed an agreement when we were the village of Clifford with previous owners of part of the lands that Whiteman Holdings own. I gave you a map of the lands, I gave you the lawyer's letter, and a copy of the site plan agreement. The CBO and I have been over the site plan agreement, and to be honest with you, I can't see a whole lot about what it accomplished, but anyway, it was adopted and passed, and what they're asking is that you permit the agreement to be removed from title. All of our lands in Minto that are developed for commercial, institutional, or major residential development are subject to site plan approval. So really, the agreement is redundant, and that's our recommendation.
Any questions? Motion to accept, Councillor Turton, Councillor Faulkner, all in favor? Okay. All right, you're done? Now, normally I'd turn this over to Councillor Caldwell, but because she's saving her voice for her big speech she has to make out in the cold and in Drew, because she's coming off a cold, I'm going to keep this, so go